Alright, development update on Interleave VR. Boy, it's been a long time I haven't done one of these, and it's gonna be a lot to cover. I'm gonna try to do it without spoiling too much on what I intend to do with the game on the long run. But if you follow this channel, you might have seen hints of Interleave VR right around 2 years ago when I created Interleave VR preliminary demo. Originally, this is something I posted on Oculus Share for people to get an idea of what a third-person view shoot-'em-up would feel like in virtual reality. This was subsequently posted on Steam Greenlight, and good news, the project was actually greenlit. So it happened over the last summer, and it sort of gives me the go-ahead to take that preliminary demo, crumble it up, toss it in the garbage, and start from scratch and make a game based on that concept. And that's exactly what I did. So it's looking very different from the preliminary demo. I mean, there's an actual title screen now to it. There's a whole bunch of menus. This is not like just some jump into a scene and experience something right away. This is actually being built as a full product. So, just give you an example of the options. I was fiddling with this like a few seconds ago because I wanted the music to be lower so I could do my commentary. Lowered this as well so I can speak over the narration. And there's even video options. I mean, they're not very elaborate, but they give you a bit of range. There's a little more options here than some other Unity games could show, so that's actually pretty cool. Controls for now, I got really basic options, the aim sensitivity and so forth, but I would like remapping. The code itself is being written to accommodate remapping easily, so I would very much like remapping. So that's it. There's even options. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a new game and check it out. Even the new game screen has options. So here's your chapter selection. Right now in development, I allow myself to go in any chapter I want. And then there's the difficulty, which I'm sort of taking a Kid Icarus Uprising approach on. Only difference is I don't have the decimals. So I have 9 levels of difficulty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, FML. I had to bring that one back. It's from the preliminary demo. But there's much more gradients over here than there were in the preliminary demo. And it would actually be easy to add some at this point. With 9, I think I'm pretty good. The gradient is really nice. I mean, anyone could adapt the game to be playable for them. And I really wanted this game to have the option of being extremely difficult because it is a shoot 'em up after all. And it seems to be a tradition to have difficulty in shoot 'em up. So you can adjust that. So we're gonna go ahead and start at the prelude. It's gonna give you a really good example of what I'm going for, because now obviously I took the preliminary demo and trashed it, and I'm doing this version, which I call Interleave VR Mark 1. Now I'm gonna refer to it as Interleave VR Mark 1 and compare it to the preliminary demo as I go through this. But there's quite a few considerable differences that I've sort of added yet another new concept. So let's go take a look at this. So here's where it's really fun. You start off in this skippable intro scene. You hold E to skip. I won't like let the timer reach all the way to the end right now, but I could actually skip this scene. But it starts off above Earth, and it's kind of like the spaceship is just launched in space. It's a nice scale feel here. In fact, my armchair feels like when I rest my arms on my armchair, it feels like they're resting inside the cockpit. It's pretty cool. You can hear some narration in the background. It's a bit crude right now. I'm writing the scripts as I go and just reading them very quickly to put them in the game and see the time they take. And what's with the cockpit view? Well, check it out. I wanted Interleave VR Mark 1 to be a multi-point of view shoot 'em up. I had a few options to do that. In order to accommodate the virtual reality, I can't really go and swing the camera around the ship all the time. So I was either going to have each scene be in a different point of view, or I was going to find a way to be able to move the camera while the scene is going. And finally I went for option 2, which required a lot of work, but you're going to see it's actually pretty cool. So what I do is I use the cockpit as your enclosure. Your cockpit is your permanent enclosure. You're always in the cockpit. And when you go to a third-person view and you change points of view, you're basically moved inside the cockpit. You're about to see this happen right now. I'm going in chase point of view right now, and my cockpit is still around me. It fades away once I'm done changing points of view, and then I get a view, and this is basically the original Interleave VR point of view, the chase point of view, but there are others, and we're about to see them. The pulverizer makes its return, the special attack when you right-click. Sends 8 bullets that home in on any enemies that are nearby. Right now I don't even have any practice targets in this scene, but I wanted it to be sort of a very rapid tutorial scene that someone can skip. So I may actually add targets here so the player can play with their weapons and stuff. So the idea was for the centric of the game to be the cockpit. It's very important for me to do this. This is the point where the narrator tells you that he's gonna do a test warp to Pluto with this cheap-ass ship that they've built. It's basically built by the Defense Discount Aerospace Defense Corporation, DAD for short. And they build stuff on the cheap. And obviously this warp goes wrong. You're supposed to go next to Pluto. Like in my head I had like warping next to Pluto, but not on the surface. And you end up on the surface of some world that is obviously absolutely not Pluto. And if you want a small tiny little hint, not a spoiler, just a hint, this is not a normal space-time right now where the ship is. You are warping in a world that is outside of the known universe. And you're still in the cockpit now, so you done your warp, the scene has changed, the transition's actually pretty smooth. And now you are sitting inside the cockpit of the Clipper still, and we're about to experience sort of the new version of that first stage that I had in my preliminary demo. Which, in this stage, what I wanted to do is showcase all the points of view, so you're about to see them all. I will cut bits out as I play through this, so that I don't spoil the entire content I have so far, but I will show a lot of parts. So this is the opener, and here come the ships. You just gotta do your shooty bang bang. And on challenging, one beef that— oh shit, I took a hit, come on. One beef that I have right now on challenging is that the enemies take too many hits. But that's kind of cool though, because it makes the screen fill up a little more. There can be a little dead air right now with my enemy layouts. Shit. What's going on? It's actually hard to talk on this difficulty at the same— look at this! Christ! This is actually kinda— I had to use my pulverizer there twice. It got crowded there. Yeah, on challenging, they take couple of hits more. I'm gonna play with that because I want bullet sponges on FML, but I don't quite want bullet sponges in the middle difficulty. It's a little annoying. This is pretty cool. It feels like I just put my hands on all these little items on the cockpit. This is really cool. I wish I could capture this VR experience in 3D. I can capture this game in 3D, but only on screens. This is because I made my own 3D feature in the game. You can actually play this in 3D if you want. Here comes some ships, and here comes our first power-up of the day. This will cause my charge to come back up, and thus allow me to frequently use my special attack. So there we go, it's reloaded again. And here comes another bunch of ships on a wait. Boom! And they're all dead. So you basically look around in VR, you don't have to. Generally, if you look straight ahead, you should be able to see all the gameplay. But if you feel like it, I mean, you're free to look at where the enemy is going or coming from in order to anticipate what's going to happen next, where you should go next. But you don't have to. I mean, this game is being designed to be played on screens as well. Ooh, that was hard to dodge. And, well, it's being designed to be played on screens as well. So the FOV is at least narrow when it comes to combat. You can look wherever you want. You don't have to. Alright, so we're approaching our first mini-boss encounter. And now you may notice my gun has changed color. It's because I just got a level up. Every 20,000 points on my score, I get a weapon level up. I should destroy this guy. Oh shit! Damn. Too far. So I got a level up from that 20,000 points, and now I just picked up an energized power-up, which will temporarily level up my weapons 2 more levels. So now I got the multi-gun, which happens at level 4, I believe. And now I think my my weapons went up yet another level. When you take a hit, it's either -1 or -2, I forget exactly. You may notice the boss, the mini boss, is shooting these big homing bullets at me. That's actually pretty awesome. They feel a lot like the projectiles in Kid Icarus Uprising. It's in fact a huge inspiration from building this game on. Star Fox and Kid Icarus together are really gigantic bases that I'm using to make this game. In fact, what sparked me to make me want to make this game in the first place was Kid Icarus Uprising and the introduction of virtual reality to DK1. Playing Kid Icarus Uprising and trying the DK1, I was like, man, just it would be awesome to see that game on the DK1. So, yeah. So the mini boss. There was a timer for the mini boss, it was like 35 seconds. Had I not defeated the mini boss by the timeout, he would have flown away. And I would see him again, and I'll show you where you see the mini bosses and the bosses again. This is cool. See, again here, this is the top-down point of view. I just picked up some health and some force. The force is what you need to keep your pulverizer active, so when you shoot your pulverizer, wow, that's cool, I killed something. You take 5 points of force. When you take a hit, it also drains a little bit of force, and as long as you have force, it will drain less health. They'll take force instead. It's kind of like armor, strength, and also your special weapon. If your force goes down to 0, your charge stops going up, and thus you eventually lose your special weapon. You may notice I used the shield there to go through his beam twice, and that's another mechanic I implemented that was not in the preliminary demo originally. So you hold the space bar and that just activates your shields, and it takes a bit of charge as well. And since your charge needs to be full for you to fire your special weapon, using your shields sort of disables your special weapon for a moment. Alright, so we're about to see the boss here, and you see this timer there, time 2:30, nice and clear. If I don't defeat him by the timeout, by that expiry, I will meet this boss again. However, I'm going to defeat both of them. I already did the mini boss, so I'm going to do the boss, because there's something else cool that happens if you actually do defeat these guys. Now this boss I really like, the design, and he really feels large. When you're in third-person view combat like this, objects are smaller than they would normally be. Like this ship you cannot sit in right now. It's been shrunken down for it to look more 3D. Believe it or not, the Scorpion still looks ginormous in this mode. So I don't know if you're seeing it very well on the screen when the pulverizer shot homes in on the 2 hit zones. So you got hit zones kind of like in Star Fox here, and just homes in on them. Had to work on those mechanics now, because in the original preliminary demo, the colliders didn't quite work the same way. But now the pulverizer is a really, really awesome weapon. It's what I wanted it to be in the preliminary demo, which I'd never had quite gotten working properly. So now we're about to depart. We're about to warp out and go in a tunnel. And that tunnel is where you would encounter the mini-boss and the boss that I've just encountered, had I not defeated them on time. However, here's what happens. If you defeat both the mini-boss and the boss, there has to be something happening in this tunnel. Now here's the fun part. This tunnel is entirely cockpit view. This will be a sort of faux 6 degree of freedom, or more like 4 degree of freedom. More like 3. This is really a faux 6 degree of freedom. So you are given a sort of holographic grid to know where you are within your motion space. It is limited. You are always facing forward, so your rotation is limited as well. But you're basically just using the mouse to pilot this from a first-person view cockpit. And it feels absolutely marvelous in VR. I have to tell you, I was very worried about taking this approach, but it just feels absolutely fantastic. Now we're about to see what happens if you defeat both the boss and the mini-boss. You get this ginormous boss. It's a bonus boss. You will not encounter this guy if you fail to defeat either the mini boss or the boss. So you may notice now I'm taking out those hit zones, and they're sort of browning out as they go. You gotta move on to another hit zone. This basically keeps you from constantly shooting the same hit zone of the boss. It forces you to move around, and then he does this to you. He's trying to fucking take you out with his beam. He's gonna do it again. Fuck. And when he's shooting his beam, his middle hit zone becomes invisible. So if you defeat either the mini boss or the boss, oh, this is awesome. This feels fucking great. I'm gonna shoot my special weapon there. Oh, that was so cool. And now look, all 4 of his hit zones are disabled. So I can only shoot the middle one, but this gets worse. When he's shooting his beam, I can't even shoot the middle one. So now I have to sort of dance with him for a while until he's done doing this shit. Oh, fuck. And he stalks you with his beam, obviously. There we go. Oh shit, I missed. I can't believe I missed. I shot it too early. You gotta be very careful not to waste your pulverizer on this guy. There we go. That's the shit. It looks great from first-person view, by the way. Yeah! There we go. So if you fail to defeat the... Oh, shit! Oh, no! I missed... Oh, man, I'm talking too much. I missed my 1-up. That was a 1-up. I don't need a 1-up, though. I got 3 lives there, as you can see. But if you fail to defeat either one, mini-boss or boss, you will get a slightly smaller version of this boss that I just defeated. Plus, you will re-encounter the one you failed to defeat. If you fail to defeat both of them, you will encounter them both in this tunnel, and you'll also get an even smaller bonus boss. So there's, in the tunnel, the concept is you get a bonus boss, no matter what, 1 of 3, and you also re-encounter the bosses that you failed to defeat in the main stage. So now I'm given a summary at this point. It says my difficulty was set to challenging. First valley, second valley, mini boss, boss, and totals. My hit ratio is there. The number of kills, the number of shots. Everything is basically there. It's actually pretty readable in VR. I was very worried about the screen. I would say the only problem right now is the stupid lens flare. Shots. There we go. And you even get a screen that shows you a picture of the last level you were in. I'm gonna work on that. That was sort of an idea I had. It's not in the way of the text, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on it. I think I can do that a little better. Maybe a backdrop for the entire thing instead of being a sort of television floating in the background. Anyways, let's go to the next chapter. This is gonna be the last part of this video, and I'm probably gonna cut some parts out because this is massively work in progress. What you've seen me go through right now is more or less established in terms of mechanics, in terms of layouts. However, as of now, this is a brand new level, and not just that. When I originally did the preliminary demo, my second level was hell. It was that red thing, right? I can't do that this time around because I kind of want that to be the last level. I want the last level to be infernal. So I had to make up something new. This is the first time in the project in a long time that I actually have to invent a level. So you're about to take a look at that. I really fucking hope you like it because it's work in progress. But I am satisfied so far. I tried it in VR, especially in VR. I'm satisfied so far. So let's go. Let's go take a look at this. So we warp in as usual. This become the shtick of the game. You warp into the level. Now my Oculus driver is freaking out there for a second. And in the level I show up. And this is basically the, I don't know if you recall, in my original preliminary demo you had sort of a section like this with ships trying to form complex beam patterns around you. Get you to freak out.
Rapid reload.
I'm feeling some frame dips here, so this... Holy shit, my weapon is maxed out. Look at this. This is the maximum level weapon. That is... Oh, crap, I had to take a hit at that fucking moment. That is cool, though. That is awesome. Holy crap. This mows through everything. I don't even need my special gun. Oh, and check it out. This is a new power-up based on the original preliminary demo. This is the spread gun. So I got my main gun plus... Oh, I can't believe I missed them with that. My main gun plus my spread gun. That guy ain't gonna last long. There's new enemies here. These guys are fun. They dodge. You saw that? They actually dodge shots. I wanted to try that. I thought it would be fun. And it actually turned out to be a little easier than I thought, so I went ahead and put it in. So yeah, right now my Oculus driver is officially freaking out. I don't know why. I actually ran a performance test on this level so far. It wasn't so bad. So I'll check it out. This is why it's work in progress. But it's looking similar to the second level that I designed in the original preliminary demo. However, Mark 1 can't have it be hell, so I needed a different color scheme. I went from the blue-gray, greenish. I was thinking like Io, the Jupiter moon, Io, chemical planet, but not with the yellow and the reds, just the greens. Anyway, it's really hard to explain. Think Mars meets Io meets Titan, if you know your astronomy and your solar system. There's nobody in the map. I can just turn around and do this, and this is where I realize I'm satisfied with my design. This is really cool. And it looks huge too. And here comes the cockpit, so I'm gonna be basically steered. This is so comfortable. I do not test this often in VR specifically to make sure that I can feel it as a newcomer. I only test this on the screen, and every week I do repeated tests in VR only on one given night. This is it. And I am blown away by the comfort level of what I've done so far. So there is that. That is really wonderful. Gonna work on those hitches that I felt back there. They seem to be going away actually, so I'm a little worried about that, but I want to keep it good looking. This is really fucking awesome. So over here I would be basically taken up to a boss creature and fight it. It's not going to be as difficult. Wow, those shots. Oh, they look cool. It's not going to be as difficult as the boss at the end of my original second level, mostly because you're not at the end of the game, but it's still going to be... Oh, is this gonna... I don't think this one will be modular. It's gonna be a lot like the Scorpion, but it's gonna have different attack patterns. In the tunnel, there will be the first modular boss of the game, and the tunnel is not yet created, so what happens when the tunnel is not yet created? You end up at the summary screen. There we go, summary screen. So there's only about 90 enemies, I would say, right now inside Chemical Creek in that level. The mini-boss section is empty, Lake Toxic is empty, and the boss section does not have a boss, but all that is coming, so that's your development report for Interleave VR so far. And, oh wow, it feels kind of good to make a video without the face cam. Not that I'm, I don't like publishing my face cam. I like the idea of not having to edit it in, and it'll make this post really quick. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to the final product. I sure am at this point. Having seen the Perfect Warp level, you see there the title. It's called Perfect Warp because the announcer is going to say Perfect Warp sarcastically. Obviously. The announcer, the narrator, is going to say like, Perfect Warp, exactly where we want it to be. Great job. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got so far. I hope it's going to make everybody enthusiastic and want to try this simplistic yet fun shoot 'em up in VR. Alright, I'll see you around, people. Thanks for watching.